What's that sound?
What's that sound? What's that sound? It's the MOBcast.
We think it's right up. It'll be right up your alley. I mean, it's surviving the wilderness and sort of the wilderness in general. So if Michael wants to sort of set the stage for us to get started, Michael.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the MOBcast.
This is the MOBcast.
Oh boy, it's been a
minute.
Well, I'm gonna go get lost in the wilderness after this for the next probably month, but that's fine. Yeah, so I was just, some basic questions. I'm trying to paint a picture in the mind in the 14 people that listen to this.
Yes.
So a couple questions first. Now, are we surviving in the wilderness where we just are dumb and we just got lost in the woods and we're just trying to get back home, get back to civilization? Or are we surviving because we have to? Like, for example, there's some big cataclysm, right? The lights go off and they don't turn back on, and now it's like, oh, we gotta survive. I think because it's more wilderness-y, I think we should probably do the one that's we're in we're stupid and it's just us dudes being guys out in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden we don't know where we are, and there's a Sasquatch and a Wendigo, and so discuss.
Yeah,
I think if that happens, we're all kind of dead anyway. But
no, Brad is a wilderness survival guide. Adventure
I'm a
is
buckmaster.
out there.
Brad is not going to take down a 10-foot tall Wendigo. I'm sorry.
Yes, he is.
Thing has claws the size of a ruler. But Michael, yeah. So I think I agree with you. Say we just went on a hike. It got dark. So we have maybe some supplies, whatever. It's us five, maybe others, and we get lost, say in the, out west somewhere. So we have no idea where we are.
Dead immediately. I give us 11 minutes.
No, that's a realistic question. So how long do you think you could survive? Say, so you just went camping, you got the supplies. How long are you surviving?
Indefinitely. I'm the Lorax.
Really?
I speak for the tree. No, I probably honestly, it depends. I think that goes for everybody. No matter how adept at nature you are or not, which I don't think I am that much. So,
if I had to be honest with myself, I said probably. If it's a situation where let's try it, and then it's naked and afraid, it's all right, pull me out. I've hit my limit. If it's something like that, I'd like to say at least a week. I don't know, 3 to 5 days. If I'm being harder on myself, but
if you're totally naked, or do you have some?
No, no, it's not naked and afraid. It's
and we choose to be naked.
Yes. Or you can be like Michael Scott and just use your clothing as a headband and as a tent.
How long did he last?
3 hours.
2 hours.
2.5 hours.
It's not. The safety's on.
Well,
I think.
What do you think, Brad?
I think if I had the supplies, and I think if it wasn't winter, and I had to really try to keep it was very important that I'm warm at all times like that. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, but I feel like the thing that would get me would probably be me eating something I'm not supposed to.
Yeah,
I think just my lack of knowledge of vegetation and berries would get me in trouble.
So say you could have you get one weapon of your choice. So you are able to hunt probably to some capacity, whether that be a rifle, a bow, whatever. So I think that definitely adds some time.
You give me a rifle and a knife. I can last as long as you need me to last.
Okay.
You can last as long as you have
Big guy.
bullets. Yeah, slow down here,
We'll
Chief.
say that when the grizzly bear comes strolling by. When you
That's why I think
I
the settings
just said a gun and a knife.
That's why I
I'll
said-
take a gun and a knife, and my brain is beating a grizzly bear every time.
It's not. Do we need to go
I think-
back to, to the
I think you
deadliest
put me
animals?
I think you put me in Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
In
well,
And no, listen, Northeast Ohio. We're talking like apex predator or like coyotes. I think.
No, it's a
it'd be
rabid
okay.
meth person. That's the apex predator. They don't feel pain.
the needle coming out of their arm. That's
Your
different.
city is
No, I think I'd
dirtier
get
than
them all.
ours, Michael. I
Your
watch
rivers
yourself.
catch on fire.
So Brad,
No, there
say-
are a few.
I like the setting as if, say like we're in the Smoky Mountains or we're out west, somewhere in the mountains, and say, it's
Yeah, that's
June,
cool.
so it's not going to be killer temperatures, at least during the day. It's always like the thing, it's like, what do you do, whether you get lost, you get stranded, or, some accident, like all the movies and stuff like that. It's like, you got to try to find where you are, water, shelter, and like all that sort of basic steps, I guess, to try and survive. And Jordan has finally made it back from the wilderness. He joins us live here on the MOBcast. How are we doing?
Welcome.
Hello
Here
there.
he comes.
Hey, there he is. Jordan, how long are you surviving in the wilderness?
Where in the world?
Northeast Ohio.
Ever, forever.
Forever. You're staying in Columbus, the streets of Columbus.
I'm the god there. I'll never die.
Street cred.
No, you're in the Yellowstone National Park.
Do I have any tools? Like, do I have a gun?
Yes, you get a weapon of your choice, and say a tent.
34 minutes.
4 minutes.
I'm kidding. If you give me a fishing pole, I think I could do better.
Oh, a fishing pole's a good idea. I'd almost rather do that. Than
I
have a
think I would
rifle.
take like a bow before I took a gun. Not saying that I'm like Pocahontas over here, but
It's
like, you
reusable.
can get- you can get the arrows back, and they're easier to make than bullets. I don't know where you could find like natural deposits of sulfur
Call him
and
Katniss Everdeen over here. No, I agree with you because I feel like the bow also is a. You're not going to attract as many, I guess, potential predators too. At least with the sound of a gunshot.
yeah. And considering like at that point, I think everyone would agree that even if like the animals you're shooting aren't in season, like you're gonna do what you gotta do. Like, oh, that deer doesn't have 3 up on one side, I can't shoot it. Like, no, I'm gonna shoot like Bambi if I need to eat.
Damn,
Like,
I
I'm
ran
sorry.
out of my deer tags for this season.
I
This
guess
is
I'll
this
die.
is no bars hold. Like you're surviving.
Yeah.
Bambi's going down. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, I guess break it down in your head. That's where we're going. Like, okay, when do you realize that you're lost? Right? Like, when do you go from this is a fun adventure
That
hike to like
shit moment.
exactly like
I think as soon as nighttime hits.
I was gonna say, as soon as
Yeah,
the sun goes down and the temperature goes down.
And you don't realize you're like, I've seen this tree before, or you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
and
That's for sure an issue.
And I feel like another big thing, especially with surviving. I feel like it's different if maybe you're with others, but I feel like one of the biggest things you have to control is your own sanity. You got to like try to stay calm, stay cool, and try not to freak out. Because I feel like that potentially you always hear stories. of
Everybody
people-
remain calm.
Yeah.
What's the procedure?
procedure. Every man for
so
himself.
when all law and order breaks down. Let's assume it's just us 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are we eating first? Because it's gonna get to that point very soon.
That's got to be pretty tender.
I volunteer as tribute. I have a lot to offer, a lot to bear.
Yeah, but you're one of the hunters of the group, so you might
It's
be
true.
needed. You know.
Yeah, I know, but I can.
Well, if the hunting is working, then we won't need to eat one of us.
That's a good point.
So we only eat you if you.
If
fuck up.
anything, yeah, that means I'm not doing my job. Therefore,
You're
get rid
up.
of me.
Your dinner.
Yeah.
But like the bonus prize is the last man standing, not eaten, gets to turn into a Wendigo. That's how the ancient traditions go. I
What
did
is
some
the Wendigo?
research before this. It's like I'm
Isn't
fuzzy on it, but I
cannibalism
think it's
with it.
yeah. So it's like it's an ancient Native American kind of thing, like the Wendigos. I think it's people that like got I don't know if it's lost in the woods or stuck in the woods or died. But I think like the modern theory behind it or whatever is
Is it the same thing as a skinwalker?
hold on.
Sorry.
I think they get mixed up a lot.
Be right back.
Oh, he's gone. I think Skinwalker is purely like supernatural, when Wendigo is like more rooted in spiritual.
That
It's like
sounds
a-
right.
It's like a nature spirit instead of like I think they both might be, but one's more like dark.
I was gonna say.
I think they're pretty similar.
They
I
are.
thought-
Let's see.
That
let's
sounds
look up some
terrifying.
pictures.
That's for sure.
Really quick, just speaking of survival stories.
Oh wait, it's Wendigo, and what's the other one?
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker. Speaking of survival stories that actually didn't go as planned, when I was in the Tetons last summer, there was a guy that went missing the week before.
Yeah, he died,
And-
right?
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
Sorry, I just ruined your story. What an asshole.
well, it's all right. No, the Tetons and Yellowstone have a really good reputation for, like, if someone goes missing, they're going to find them, regardless of if they're dead or alive. Like, they will find them.
Yikes.
And this kid, I think he was a French, like, foreign exchange student. He went with some friends, and then he just disappeared one night. Someone said that they saw, like, multiple people said they saw him on the trail, and he was just wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt and, like, a little, like, drawstring bag. And that was, like, the last report of seeing him. And they did I think the day that we left, they were on day 16 of searching for him. And this was, like, helicopters, like, constantly circling the mountaintops. And they just were not able to find anything. I think they gave up after day, like, 30. So,
That's a
Yeah,
scary
I mean-
reality.
yeah, seriously. I mean, and who knows, like, if he did it on purpose, or, like, if it was, like, a Into the Wild scenario where it was, I don't know. But, yeah, crazy nonetheless. I mean, that's a crazy area to get lost in. That is not where you want to get lost.
Like, what's the terrain like? Is it just all over the place?
I mean, yeah, so it's like an alpine setting where it's
Right.
I mean, it's essentially like big prairies that butt up to gigantic mountains, like
Jeez.
foothills and then mountains. But it's the most populated place for bear outside of Glacier National Park.
Wow.
Outside, other than Alaska. Alaska has the most in the United States, but then it goes Glacier and then Grand Tetons. So
That
not
is
where you want to
nuts.
go missing.
And I feel like that's number of like survival. I don't know. I feel like that always goes down, especially if you're alone, as that person
Right.
was for whatever reason. But to wrap it back to just the Wendigo real quick, Michael, you were pretty much correct. It was based in kind of Native American culture, and it's whenever somebody used cannibalism to survive in the wilderness, they were transformed into this mythological being or creature that would kind of haunt the woods.
So it still is like supernatural and like supposed to
yeah.
be like a spooky thing. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
They got deer antlers. I'm gonna mount one on my wall. Yeehaw. That's cool though.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, Michael,
Exactly.
Brad was just telling us about a story from when he visited the Grand Tetons and someone had gone missing.
That's horrifying. Didn't I don't know if you guys mentioned this. There was a country singer. Didn't he just go missing? And he found, I forget. Yeah, he was. I think just like a guitar guy, like no band involved. Or I really don't know, but I think it's a lot more tragic. I think he had some like mental health issues, so that might have played a role into why he went missing. But yeah, scary stuff. I saw a map actually. It was America's largest cave systems, and then overlaid on top was disappearances,
Oh,
and they
jeez.
kind of lined up. I don't know about
They
that
really
one.
do.
I don't-
But how
mean,
many people go caving?
Caves
you
are
know?
sketchy, man.
I love caves.
Dude, caving is one of my biggest fears. Like those people that
Spelunky.
like the ones that like go through the holes that are like I don't know, like this big,
Nope. No.
and they're like, "Oh, look, see, now all I have to do is move this little rock here and this one here, and then I can inch forward, and then I got to do it all over again."
and I have to dislocate my wrist and then pop it back
Right.
in.
It's like,
And you're good.
where are you going? How do you get out?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Well,
It's
What
even
if
is
you're
worse
more
when they do it.
terrifying?
It's
What is
even
more
worse when they do it
terrifying?
underwater.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
any of it.
Oh, yeah. If it gets like flooded or something.
But
Dude,
what's more
when I was
terrifying? That
Go ahead.
or what Alex Honnold does?
Spelunky.
what Alex Honnold does, 100%.
Context,
I'd rather
please.
fall
no.
than. I'd
Please
rather
Alex
fall to
Honnold
my death.
and Brad,
than
Brad,
stuck.
you've met him.
Please
right?
explain.
Alex
Yeah.
Honnold.
What's that?
Maybe you explain. Alex Honnold, explain what he does and who he is. The
Is he
Madman.
the free climber?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just
so-
solo.
Yes.
Alex Honnold is probably like the most well-renowned rock climber that's currently alive.
Oh.
He's the one that did the Free Solo documentary, and essentially he's known for just doing all of the climbing that people would only do with a rope, without anything, and by himself.
That's nuts.
But he's also got something going on up here where he's a little off.
He's on the spectrum, I think.
I think so. I think I'm not quite sure what it is that he's got going on, but I do know that he doesn't really like his emotions don't really translate. Like he doesn't really have any emotions.
Brad, this is
so
a
how
total.
could you?
This is a total aside, and this is on the same topic. Have you seen The Alpinist?
Not yet. I've heard
It's an
good things.
amazing documentary. It's this guy is 1,000 times crazier than Alex Honnold. So what Brad's talking about, Alex Honnold will climb like. So they're clearly difficult rock faces, but he'll climb in like good conditions. So like it'll be warm. He'll use chalk. Sometimes a little bit tougher because it's like in the morning and stuff. So this guy Marc-Andre Leclerc, who is no longer with us, so there's like what Alex does is just like called free soloing. He would do alpining, which is like the same thing, but it's like cold faces, like ice and snow and whatever, no rope. And Alex will also, he'll do the routes with rope and make notes and do it and do it a few times, and then he'll free solo it. Mark would he'd just walk up to the mountain with boots on, with claws on them, and he'd have 2 ice picks and a helmet, and he'd fucking go up to the top.
But hear me out. Okay, that's awesome. But also, like, Alex Honnold free soloed Half Dome, and that basically is like 8,000 feet of a sheer cliff. Whereas, like, Alpine, like, mountains.
No,
They're
Michael,
like-
what this
you can
guy...
walk-
No.
Is he
it's
nuts?
Not, it's not. It's 1,000 times... Like, Alex Honnold is in this documentary, and he's like, Mark is crazy. He's like, I would never even attempt what Mark does.
Damn.
He
Well,
and
yeah, I'm
they
good
actually
on
so
that.
they met each other. So Mark, this is how good a climber Mark was, is that he climbed some face in Yosemite that Alex had the record for, and like Mark wasn't somebody who would try and climb fast or anything, but just like one day he had done this route a few times and he timed himself and he beat Alex Honnold's record by like 3 or 4 minutes. Without even trying. And then Alex like came back and like beat it pretty handily. and they were friends.
I was gonna say Alex isn't like he's not a super competitive guy.
No,
so it's
yeah,
like
he doesn't.
he's
He
not
didn't care.
this. It was just like he just likes to climb because he's weird like that. He's just like, yeah, I just like being in constant danger and also like just the solitude of it. Which I mean, I can understand that, but not
Well, that's
the danger
what-
part.
Yeah,
I think the documentary was called The North Face, and it was the guy that started Patagonia and
Yeah.
the guy that started The North Face, and they were laughing, because they enjoyed the fact that, like, if you think about it, climbing a mountain has no benefit to human society whatsoever. It's just, I am a guy, I'm just going to go up tall, big rocks and come back down, and there's nothing that, I mean, yeah, you get, like, the bragging rights and stuff and, like, the experience, but, like, that doesn't like help anything, but like they were just laughing about it because of how pointless it is, but yet how I guess just the indomitable human spirit. That's what drives us to survive in the woods and climb tall mountains and yeah, that's a go to space, I guess. But that's my TED talk. Thank you very much.
It's just doing things that people haven't done.
Yeah, I'll
think
never
that's-
hate on anybody doing what they love, but you won't catch me doing anything like that in the future ever.
But what if you have to?
I
What
love
if
a good
the only
adrenaline
way?
rush, but
The only way you're in the Alps, okay, and you've fallen and you can't get up, but Life Alert doesn't come to the Alps, right? And you're down here and you need to make it over top
right,
of
'cause
a
they have
mountain
free
to get to
healthcare.
the welfare, but you need to get over the mountain to get to town to get your
I'm not making
medicine. Also, Coda is there. Now are you making it? Now are you making it?
if Emily's there and Coda's there, yeah, we'll make it.
Okay, fair. Good.
Wife before the dog.
Good save.
Yeah, Michael's trying to set me up there for failure. She does listen to these. So I had a question that relates back to the wilderness survival topic at hand, and I think it's one of those. It's not like it's sort of like a would you rather. So given the chance, do you think it'd be easier to survive, say, in the Tetons, or you just got shipwrecked in the middle of the Pacific? One of those
You're in
sounds
the middle of
pretty,
the Pacific. You're dead.
one of
Yeah,
those sounds
that's
pretty
what I
worse
was
than
gonna
the
say.
other.
If you're on a beach, you have to take on the ocean to find civilization. You can't just walk somewhere. Both
Yeah.
of those places you could like fish or like hunt for food, and probably not hunt on an island. But you could fish for food. You could survive possibly. But one place you can walk, and one place you have to either make a boat or swim.
Yeah,
So I would
shipwreck just
definitely
sounds pretty terrifying. 'Cause it's
Well,
just
would it
the
be like
middle
the
of-
Tetons? Can I add to that to make the question
Please,
harder?
please.
Tetons in January or the island. So now, yes, you have to walk, but now you're not only fighting just hunger and thirst, you're also having to stay warm.
I'm gonna die in both situations, so I'm gonna die on a beach.
No. Failure is not an option.
Well, if this is going to turn into if this is a beach, if we're going to survive on a beach or an island, this is basically turned into a Subnautica situation, and
Oh,
I'm just going to build a whole underwater world for myself. No, I
build
was
a
thinking
rocket
initially like
platform.
you're on a boat and it goes down. You're in the middle of the ocean. Now I hope you find land. If not, you die. If you do, you probably still die. But like you said, you die on a beach.
Like
What
a
if you're
pirate.
trapped on the lifeboat
You become Johnny
with a
Depp.
boy named Richard Parker and a tiger? That's from that
this-
book, remember?
Life of Pi.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good. I've seen the movie. Can't remember if I've read the book or not. Maybe I did a long time ago.
Pretty sure that actually happened too. But it wasn't a tiger. I think it was two guys and then the cabin boy who was named Richard Parker, and then the two older guys ended up eating the cabin boy. So
I don't
yeah.
think they would have made a book about it and then switched the kid that they ate to a tiger. That seems a little bit of a stretch.
it's symbolism.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a true story. Not what Michael's saying, what Matt's saying, that it was loosely based off a true story.
Well, it might have been. It's one. They're just two completely different stories.
One's about one person becoming
Cannibalism. The other one involves a kid and a tiger like becoming friends.
well, one's becoming a Wendigo. So that's
Yeah, I mean,
It's like not even remotely the same story.
tiger meat's good, I guess. Yeah, the kid doesn't even eat the tiger, so
Exactly.
yeah.
I don't
That's
think the
just
kid's
poor
gonna be able
survival
to.
techniques.
well. Anyway,
I just need a volleyball named Wilson, and
Be called Tom Hanks.
yeah, and be Tom Hanks, and I'll be fine.
There you
Never
go.
travel with that guy.
no, he's the worst luck of
There's-
anybody.
There's multiple
Him?
movies now where he's
Or
stranded.
Matt Damon. Or Matt Damon.
I'd be
Think
stuck
about-
on Mars. I'd do that.
Yeah, or that planet from Interstellar where he just kind of tries to doom the human race.
Yeah, he was a dick in that. Yeah.
I don't like Matt Damon. I'm sorry. He's a great actor. I don't like him.
Kind of neutral on him. is
What do you
it
mean?
is.
Neutral. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are we talking about here?
I'm not talking about his
Neutral.
acting. I'm talking more about him as a person.
Oh, I don't know him as a person.
Well, I don't know him
Maybe if I
either.
was-
Just I mean, what you
If
see
I was
from
lost in the woods
outside
with
of
Matt
Hollywood.
Damon,
Oh, you're okay.
I would be the perfect gentleman. He seems like he's in good shape. He could eat me, probably.
Hey, he's getting up there. You could take him. He's older now.
I don't know, man. I
You're
hope.
stuck on an island with
Right.
Matthew McConaughey. He just goes, Matt, what do we do? He just goes, all right, all right, all right. Horns up. Like,
And then you kill him. You use him for food.
why is the
There's
rum
not a lot of meat on
always
those bones,
gone? Depends on the movie. You can pack him. Or that's Christian Bale. Christian Bale will lose and gain 70 pounds for a movie.
Realistically, if I was stranded on an island, I'd want to be there with David Hasselhoff because he can turn into a boat from the SpongeBob movie.
Nice.
His pecs just erupt into a turbo engine.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's Hasselhoff. I love when the bad guy stabs him in the calf. He's like, "Hey." That's a great movie.
Incredible.
That is fantastic.
That's a true test of
perfection.
survival right there.
That is.
That's a true
is.
tale of survival. That making
had
it
to
all the
make
way
it.
across.
To Shell City.
I'm a go fake go.
Yeah.
As SpongeBob
Well,
and
this
Patrick
podcast-
die on screen. Then come back to
That film, it really pushed the boundaries of what you can put in a child's film. I mean, they got drunk on ice cream, which they got really drunk on ice cream. They went to the bar, and that was okay, man. I wish that.
That is a great
Oh, speaking
film.
of SpongeBob, because I'm a child at heart and in mind. Remember that episode where they get lost in the kelp forest?
Yes.
And they're talking to the magic
Conch.
conch.
That's what we
That's
need.
my item.
Magic
That's
conch.
what I'm bringing.
We gotta drop the load.
Magic conch, how do we survive this wilderness? Do nothing.
Nothing.
Sitting there.
That's a great episode.
Well, we've been listening to the magic conch. You mean like this?
The magic conch provides. That guy's face whenever he pulls it out. That's awesome.
Wilderness explorers.
That's the way to just bring a magic 8-ball and see what it says.
You know who I would be lost with? This is kind of a personal story, but it's funny. So I live, in my town, the area around. It's Pennsylvania wilderness. It's rolling hills. We're kind of near the city, but far enough out that there's a lot of trees. So every year at cross country in high school, we would take one day of practice, and instead of running, we would have to go with this guy named Ranger Thad. And Ranger Thad would take us to the park that we ran at in this like big
touch you in
fenced-off
places that
area.
you're not supposed to get touched.
Well, so anyway, we would, he had this, he had
answer.
his purpose in life, I'm scared, his purpose in life was to save this tree called the American chestnut. And every year we would have to go out and plant in our cross-country uniforms, plant the American chestnut tree in this like big clearing to save it from extinction. And because his name was Ranger Thad and he had like a really long ponytail as a man, he seems like the type of guy that would know what he was doing, and I choose him as my wilderness survival guide. Move over Bear Grylls. He never drank his own pee, so
He
he
slept
knows
in
what he's
hotels,
doing.
apparently.
I would
I don't
believe
blame
that.
him.
He's there to make a
Yeah.
show, not to survive.
That's very true. All right,
much money did he
go
get?
eat one bug and then go sit in the hotel?
You get $250K to drink your own piss on camera. On Bear Grylls, and today.
Where do I pull? Where do I go? Go off camera real quick. That show, yeah, Brad.
So if you're stranded in the wild and you had nothing like of actual, like real life edibility, like real food,
Okay.
what is the worst thing that you would eat to survive?
Worst. I feel like that's almost an opinion. I would eat tree bark. I would eat leaves. I would eat grass. I would push myself to eat bugs.
I
for
love
sure.
bark.
What if you had to eat like a rotting corpse of an animal? Like you straight went scavenger. You're
That,
really
I may draw the line there. I might. That is
that's. Well, you don't
I
want to
think
get sick.
you lost me at
the only thing
yeah.
worse than being stuck in the woods is having food poisoning while being stuck in the woods.
Okay, if it's your last day, you know today, if you don't eat, you're dead. And you
Then you're
find
gonna
you find a dead animal, it's recent-ish, you can't tell. You send it, or do you die?
Okay,
You're gonna get parasites
I'll
and
make
die
a-
from that a slow death, anyways.
I'll make a fire and then I can cook it.
That's still not guaranteed to
Still,
be safe.
though.
Well,
Okay,
It'll help.
if it was the winter, if
It'll
it was
have
the
taste
winter, if it was the winter and I found an animal that died, maybe. And I'm talking, it has to be sub-freezing the
no,
entire
Michael, this
time.
is July, 99 degrees outside.
It's
So
stinking.
It's
let me break
steamy.
this down.
That thing's
Let me
stinking.
break this down. You got a perfectly good tree to eat the bark of, but no, you're like, I need some of that protein. My gains are slipping.
My gains.
Right. Here's what happens. You eat a tiny amount of this meat. You're like, oh, that's so good. And then you eat a lot more. 3 hours later,
die.
you ever play Oregon Trail? You got dysentery. You died. You will dehydrate yourself. You'll turn into beef jerky immediately. You'll be so dehydrated. You'll die.
Can I counter that? I mean, I assume there's a
Yes,
creek
absolutely.
nearby with some fresh water ish.
The water's tainted too.
Oh, so hopefully it's moving.
The animals
There's
are
an oil
drinking
spill.
it. If they're thanks, BP.
Don't drink stagnant water. Make sure it's moving.
That's a good point. You don't know what's been floating in
fair.
there. That's good advice. That's good advice. No, I feel like
Yeah,
the corpse
I'd
is.
eat bugs.
Huh?
I'd eat a lot of bugs.
I would eat bugs.
Hakuna Matata, buddy.
Slimy, yet
It's no
satisfying.
worries.
Right.
There's something, Nathan, you brought up eating tree bark. There's a real woodland dish that you can make. I've looked at. It's called tree bacon. On certain trees, there's a layer between like the wood and the bark called cambium. And if you take that, you can cook it with salt and pepper, and it
It tastes like dirty asshole.
probably,
And it tastes like tree bark.
And in
It's-
45
most
minutes,
likely.
you're high as fuck.
yeah, most likely.
I'm lost in the desert. I'm gonna drink some cactus juice, and we're gonna see what happens. You know, maybe there's a giant library that I'll find. It's cool.
Make sure you don't lose your air bison.
Maybe
My
Matt
air
Damon will
bison.
pop up and help you out too. With your
Look, I don't want to be.
hallucinations.
This is gonna offend some people, but I feel like if there was like a sky bison, I feel like it would be delicious if you had to eat it. I'm sorry.
Especially the babies that are the size of cows.
No, I don't like veal or
No, imagine
sky
eating
veal.
basically a buffalo burger. I feel like that's
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be delicious.
yeah, Brad. I know you're thinking the same thing. Don't
Medium rare.
medium.
I'm disappointed.
Medium's good. Medium. Now my chicken. Now that's a different story.
I'm very disappointed in you all.
Hey man,
Appa
you do
would
what you
let
gotta
Aang
do.
eat him.
Appa's got like 8 legs, bro. He could spare one. You know.
Why? He doesn't get to walk anyways.
6.
Okay, so if he has 6 legs, technically he's a bug. Therefore, he's on the table. Let's go. And he can fly.
His toe alone is probably like this big. So just like chop off the toe and cook it.
Oh, I'd feel bad though.
I mean, I
I'd
guess
feel very bad.
No, that's like
Okay,
me. That's
hold
like
on a
me.
second.
Like that's like me eating Coda. I couldn't do that if it was my own. Obviously.
I was gonna say let's say you're stuck in the wild and you kill an appa. You could have just flew on it out of there.
What if
That
it was
is a good
hostile
point.
Appa?
Well,
That's
say
a
his
good
his
point,
tail got chopped up by a T-Rex or something. I don't know. So he can't.
What
fly.
wilderness are we lost in?
I don't know. There's
How
a
would
sky
the fly- the
bison.
flying
Anything
does
is
not
game,
come from-
Michael.
We're in the land of the fucking lost, I guess.
That's a funny movie.
Journey to the center of the earth.
I ate this giant mushroom and now I can speak to God directly.
Will Ferrell's
Man.
funny.
How long? Okay. How long do you think you guys last in the Amazon?
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
my god. 3 minutes?
Seriously.
I'm either getting malaria.
No, seriously.
I'm getting picked up by a tribe and killed. An alligator's eating me, or a cat of some kind is killing me.
I legitimately think maybe an hour.
I'm saying 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or a spider.
Dude.
Something's going to eat me.
Few hours tops.
If I got dropped in the
might,
rainforest without anything, an hour tops.
That stuff
42
freaks me
minutes.
out. I can't imagine all the stuff that's still like undiscovered there. Like, what if there's a spider, it bites you and it just like it makes you just die immediately, or like it turns your skin inside out or something. I don't know. Like, think about all the crazy shit that we don't know about.
There's some really sadistic movies. Like, have you ever heard of like Green Inferno?
That movie's fucked up.
Yes,
Oh,
movies
I
that
haven't
are like
seen it, but
I haven't seen it either. I've just watched. It's like banned
Doesn't-
across countries.
Doesn't even take place during nighttime. It's
completely
you see everything.
It's just it's I don't know if it's specifically in the Amazon, but I feel like same sort of situation. But it's like these cannibalistic tribes, and it's just terrifying.
There's a cool twist at the end though.
There is, yeah,
Should watch it.
Add it to
or at
the
least
list.
read the the wiki on it. I
Isn't
like
there
doing
a
that with
movie
horror
called?
movies.
There's a movie called Cannibal Holocaust, and I don't know if it's based in the Amazon, but it's a movie where they had to prove to detectives that
I know what
nobody
you're talking
died.
about.
It was that realistic,
I don't know if
And
that's
I do know what you're talking about.
and I hope that I never have to
Like
experience
they were
any.
like, "Is this not real?"
Yeah. I mean, that'd be the biggest compliment as a producer when they're like, "Hey, bro, like, did you do anything? You got to tell us." Like,
Oh, cool. Cool sidebar to that, because we're talking about movies real quick. They're making a new like Final Destination, and I saw that the directors that eventually got the gig, they were on a Zoom call, and what actually made them like get the final offer was they faked a death on the Zoom call with like the execs, and they were like, "That's incredible," and like you got the movie. I don't know the actual like what happened, but I thought that was so nuts.
It's kind of cool.
I'd like freak out, but yeah, that was neat.
not something you see every day.
So
But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
no, I was just gonna say I'm thinking I like Brad picking up different locations. I'd say anywhere outside of the U.S. I'm probably, or North America, I'm probably in deep doo-doo. Drop you in the middle of England. Do you survive?
No problem. That's got to be the
You're
softest
dirty.
place.
The continent's ranked.
What's the most dangerous animal in England? I honestly don't know.
They're rappers.
Probably a raccoon. I don't know. The Queen's
wombat,
corgis. I don't
maybe?
know.
Queen's corgis.
Have you guys
I'm
seen
gonna look
those
that up
memes?
actually.
I'm legitimately drawing a blank. I don't know if there's anything dangerous.
No, it's
in
probably
England.
like. This is sad to say. Probably like criminals.
Oh, I looked up the most dangerous animal in England, and Google, the first thing that pops up is cows. Fucking cows.
English Mastiff is what came up for me.
Well, those aren't just running around.
They're just chilling.
Yeah, cows is on there. 12 most dangerous animals living in the UK countryside.
Voldemort, maybe, if he's that's set in England.
Yeah, what are
That is
the Dementors? Dementors.
The Dementors.
It's the most watered down milk toast survival place you could be. Like just
Well, no. Here's the thing. Okay, so would you rather eat tree bark? Would you rather eat beans and toast?
tree bark for sure. Tree bark for sure.
100%.
England conquered
English
3/4 of the
people suck.
world.
They do.
England conquered 3/4 of the world to search for spices because their food sucked. That's the reason.
They're like beans and toast. Finally, some delicious freaking food. God, I hope we don't have any English listeners out there, but your food
Fuck 'em.
sucks.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck. Just kidding.
Hashtag 1776 get fucked.
No,
Correct.
there it is.
I will say this. Okay, you hate to see anybody die, no matter how much atrocities or how many atrocities their family and people related to them have caused. It is sad that the Queen did die. R.I.P. You hate to see that.
R.I.P.
However,
Why is it
I will
sad?
say. Well, you hate to see an old lady die.
Why
It's
is it?
just
Why
sad.
is it sad?
He lived a good
It's
life.
just sad.
You do
Well, yeah,
realize that
she
she
lived-
probably has. She had and has, or I guess it's all past tense. Had slaves. All her money is blood money.
Well, yeah,
If
but
I disappear, then this is probably why. They're terrible people.
To play devil's
They're terrible
advocate,
people.
I think Mike
You
was
and
just
Princess
talking
Diana.
about. Mike was really just talking about a family member dies. Like that's sad. Obviously,
I
I
value
don't agree
human
with
life.
any of the monarchy or any crap like that.
Oh no,
But-
like, I mean, what are they? They're not out there surviving. They don't have to. Their cows aren't that dangerous. I mean, but I will say, I thought
Don't
it was
get stuck
hilarious.
under one. Be careful.
Yeah.
They're heavy. Yeah.
They tip over.
They do.
oh goodness! Long live the Queen.
It's prob-
But no, it was kind of in poor taste though that that Thursday that she died, everyone in like our deepest condolences go out to the royal family and all of England. And now time for Thursday night football. Like, you know what I mean?
This is America, man.
This is America.
You're right. But yeah, so okay, England is the most watered down, like easiest, like beta tier place to survive. Where is the harshest place to survive? And you know what though?
Amazon,
Yeah,
Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say no Antarctica. Well, no, I guess animals live there, but like, if you're dropped there with nothing, you're just gonna die.
You'll
like,
die
what are you gonna eat?
instantly? Yeah.
Snow cones?
That's why it answers your question. Why it's the hardest place to live.
Okay, fair. Inside of an active
A
volcano.
difficult, like a tough, opposite to that is like the backwood of like Australia. I feel like that would be pretty tough. Probably get eaten by a 10-foot spider or something.
Sahara Desert,
Desert would be tough.
tundra.
Again, that's a place that like if you don't get help fast or find this or that, you're dead.
Space.
Yeah, that one's pretty hard. 300
Yes.
feet underneath the ocean. Pretty hard place to survive.
in the Earth's mantle and core.
Back to spelunking.
No, you just kind of get teleported into just like lava or magma, as it's called when it's underground. You have to live on top of a factory in Beijing, China, that spews out carbon dioxide. How long do you live? I don't know. Not very long.
Not very long. No.
Probably suffocate
Dioxide or
pretty fast.
monoxide?
The sky is not healthy over there. Or
I
here,
saw
really.
it's now. I want to say I don't know what like governing body determined this. So recently it's now like not recommended to, or not. I don't know if I would say recommended, but you're not supposed to drink rainwater anymore because of everything that's in it. There's so many like harmful particles in
I feel like I
rainwater
heard
now.
Joe Rogan talk about that, or someone like around that aspect, who's someone who loves the wilderness, and he was saying that they were just pissed because people weren't paying taxes and they were collecting rainwater or something like that. They weren't paying for water services.
There's no way that you could collect that much water to not
Well,
need
you have
running water to your home.
there's like some really big drums
Yeah.
you can just bury in the ground and it just collects water.
Where are you living?
Yeah.
I mean,
Montana, I don't fucking know.
if you hooked up like
Seattle?
you had like a septic tank and you hooked that up to your gutter system,
I
that's
love
like your
mixing
whole
my
roof.
septic tank and water tank.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It all comes
to
from the same
survive.
place.
Put the gray water and the regular water together.
I don't even know what that means. Water is water.
Gray
no
water is
matter
your
how,
poo-poo.
no matter how dirty.
It all comes
How
back
is water?
to Bear Grylls and drinking your own piss.
It's just
We-
a cycle.
We as a race have become so soft. Our gut microorganisms are so just pathetic. We can get a little tummy ache from eating, I don't know, something a little spicy.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
I was gonna say I eat spicy shit all the time.
I mean, I do too. But
Brad, you remember
Yeah,
when
but
we
some
got
people-
I cannot eat spicy
on that
things anymore.
biology project about that?
oh fuck yeah, I do. We killed it.
Dr.
I do
Scott
have-
is a goat.
I do have a survival scenario that kind of outside the realm of what we've been talking about, but we've had this conversation before in one of those late nights where we're all hanging around the counter. How long are we surviving, and what are we doing in a zombie apocalypse?
See, this is good because we're slowly going into spooky season here. It's
I
right
think we
around
already
the
did
corner.
this.
And I
but
saw-
Alaska.
And the trailer for Last of Us just came out today.
Yes.
Did it look good? I didn't see it.
It was
I haven't.
incredible. It looked fucking amazing.
Looks really good.
The zombie apocalypse. So
What's the move? How do you survive it?
Alaska.
Island. I feel like you gotta go island.
What if they can
All right,
That's a
swim?
good one.
islands.
What
are
are they
a
gonna-
Well,
good
hear me out.
solution.
We gotta ask first. What type of zombies are they? World War Z zombies where they
They're
can
runners.
sprint?
They're not
Okay,
fast
but
runners.
no,
but they're not walking.
But do they come in like a giant wave?
No,
of,
they're not
like,
World
just
War Z
bodies?
zombies. No, they can't.
I think-
they
Okay.
can't build a wall of their own bodies and do that.
I think Walking
Okay,
Dead
good.
zombies.
That's a good.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
It's easy. You just have a machete. All those people make it look so hard. Don't go into a city and get swarmed by 100,000 of them. Take on 15 at a time with 5 buddies and 2 fucking guns and a machete. You're good to go.
That's what everyone thinks. And then one mishap, one guy trips, falls, he's dead. You see
Have a
that,
bet-
you die.
Have a better squad.
That's fair enough.
Half the time, those guys just like poke them with a tiny little knife and they fall over. It's just like keep doing that.
I
think
yeah, Brad.
I was just gonna say I think there's one other place that would be better than an island,
What's that?
and that's the Avengers
Helicarrier.
aircraft. Yeah, helicarrier, the one that can be invisible, and just stay suspended. I think that would be a good spot.
That would be perfect as long as
What
I
happens
imagine
when
it's
you
like
run out of
I imagine it's self-sustaining.
it's gotta
It
be.
has
Yeah,
to be.
it has to be.
You'd be an idiot.
be
Tony
stupid.
Stark would be a moron to not make it self-sustaining.
Don't talk bad about the dead.
Well, that was Hellhire.
I think in actual reality, because I wish that was real, and it probably is, but as far as the technology I know exists, I think the equivalent would be some kind of Zeppelin or airship.
Those always go so well.
They're filled with safe helium that we're running out of at an alarming rate, by the way. And that's true.
I had a funny thought. I just thought about Michael in a big ass air balloon, and it's slowly running out of gas, and there's just a shit ton of zombies underneath him, and it just slowly comes down like a butterfly on top of him.
Good heavens! When I was in middle school, me and my friends, we'd always think about this, and like from a tactical sense, because we used to play airsoft, and we were like those kids that were like not quite the JROTC, but like oh, we're gonna when shit pops off, man, we're gonna do that. Like we're gonna reunify the districts. Like stupid, crazy.
I too had like similar conversations.
How many of them were in Washington on January 6th?
No, it wasn't like that. I'm just saying, like, we're gonna take back over the towns in case. Anyway, we thought this was a cool idea. So I live.
Change your words better.
I live near the Ohio River.
Just like he was like, no, that's not it. They were just gonna take over the town. Which is like
I'm saying in a zombie apocalypse.
People January 6th.
No, not the federal government. No, I'm talking. Okay. I'm saying, okay, if Law and Order breaks down and you're out there for yourself, right? Is it better to have, like, a community around you all working towards survival? Absolutely. So you just take over the resources and the people that are willing to be a part of your town, not by force.
For everybody that doesn't know, Michael was the guy in the Capitol with
That's a lie.
With the moose stuff on. That was Michael.
No, because I'm not part of Antifa.
For legal reasons, I have to clarify that is a false rumor.
Clearly, anybody who would think that I was telling the truth is an idiot. I'm clearly kidding. Michael would never do something so stupid,
isn't he?
How many?
Yes,
how many of
them are?
How many of the 14 followers that we have are FBI agents, I wonder? And hello to you, good sirs. Good.
Okay.
Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So we always thought it was a good idea, much like an island, but because we don't have any islands here in the great city of Pittsburgh, we have barges, okay? So we get a bunch of barges, and we tie them together in the middle of the river, like just like a big long train of barges, right? And we just like put anchors in the ground, and then like some of the barges you build little houses on, and then like other barges you grow like your food on, and you fill like you fulfill like your all your basic needs, and then you like can have like kayaks and shit, and you go to the shore and you can like get more supplies, right? I thought that was the best idea ever. That would be fantastic.
That's a really good idea. Besides, like,
barge people.
Going back to like some video game references and stuff like that, they were going to be bad people, Michael. They're going to be hunters. They're going to be people trying to kill you and take your stuff. So you're kind of sitting like a fish in a barrel there on the river, and I imagine zombies are probably going to be surrounding that area as well. I really like the idea.
It has a rail gun. That's what it has.
Okay. Yeah. Get that from Heinz Field over there.
Exactly. No. That is an astute point, especially since it's in a valley. I feel like if they have the high ground, and I think that's a Star Wars reference, so you're welcome. Yeah, that would be. You'd have to. I'd assume you'd have to have some kind of zip lines and cable cars so you could control the surrounding area. But that seems like a lot of work.
I changed my pick to Put-in-Bay, Ohio.
They have a lot of snakes there.
It's an island. There's a lighthouse, so you can use that for recon, like a watchtower. Everyone drives around on golf carts. That's the main form of transportation. And it's just a big party. And it's an island, so, like...
That's a good idea.
You just party until...
party.
Yeah.
So...
Meet spot.
Put-in-Bay, baby. It's awesome.
The Las Vegas of Lake Erie.
That's one way to put it.
That seems classic.
So
It's the farthest thing from
Supposed
classic.
to be a good time.
It's so bad.
I would.
yeah,
Go ahead, yeah.
No, go
What?
ahead. You can talk about Put in Bay.
No, I've never been to Put
Me
in Bay.
neither.
I don't
I've never
plan on
been
ever
either.
going to Put in Bay.
My bachelor
go to the
party,
meta-
we're going to-
That's where my uncle had his bachelor's party.
It's a good place for it. I'm not doing that.
Go to a
but it's
cabin in
good
the
place for it.
woods.
That's where I'm going. Up to the mountains. Just our neighbor Chad. Lots of Chads and Thads today.
I was gonna say, where's Thad in this?
I remember Chad just showed up out of the darkness, just hammered.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is my cabin. He's like, no, it's not. I'm like, well, it's my grandpa's cabin, and he was like, oh, and then he proceeded to finish a 6-pack of
Oh, was
Bud
that
Light
the
in
guy who
about
stood,
25 minutes.
was there for like half an hour? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be and that's a very important survival tip. You gotta be nice to the people around you because then they're not gonna cannibalize you and take all your
Well,
shit.
You
Probably.
could just kill them.
Counterpoint.
And take all their shit.
You should never trust no one. That's just like number one of like surviving an apocalypse. Can't trust anybody.
That's
You
fair.
Unless
like
it's like
to
your
make-
loved ones.
An alliance.
That's it. We're taking over Bracy Hall, Mount Union, Lyons, Ohio.
That'd be a pretty good spot.
No, that's not what I meant.
You got the rooftop. We got the views.
We have to secure a route to Taco Bell.
Okay,
It's
I got it.
supposed to
Priority
build it.
number
I got
one.
it. Priority number one. So we just basically build, planks to go across the buildings. We go from there to the one next to it, and then down to the engineering little soil shaking building that I was in plenty, and
And then over to the gaming building. And then
over
across
game
the street.
building, and we cross the road. But we should probably try to set up some sort of setup to avoid actually going on the road. This is assuming that there is still a working, functioning Taco Bell in the apocalypse, but
I feel like Taco Bell is like the only safe zone. Like I don't even think zombies would touch it.
it's
I think it's
it's universally agreed upon that it's just it is a safe zone. 10 feet,
Yeah.
the parking lot, an offset of 10 feet of the actual property boundary.
It's the Switzerland of the zombie apocalypse.
They actually give you
Child-
the zombies actually know to give you like a 5-minute head start when you're leaving Taco Bell as well.
You have to offer them at least a large Baja. They'll give you a 30-minute head start.
That is like
30-second head start.
Well, that's
like
the
the-
serum. That's what cures them.
Oh yeah, that's right. They want them.
What if it was, though? What if Baja is genuinely the cure for some horrible disease? Like,
Then I think
it
we're all
is? It's the
fine.
cure for depression.
it is the cure for depression.
that is one good point.
Oh, boy.
Well,
E.
this has gone off the rails, but
Well,
I mean, if anyone else has anything else, I feel like this has been a great little fun episode to come back to. I apologize
Yeah.
again to our ever-growing audience that we had to take a little step back.
little hiatus there.
Scheduling issues, and stuff like that. So, but we're here, we're back, and we're happy to be here.
Exactly. I'd like to
Better than
just
ever.
Better than
quickly say, not that it matters because nobody listens to us, but boys and girls and Mugas. Oh fuck, I can't say that. God damn, I'm sorry, Nathan.
Yes, you
Anyway,
can, it's fine.
Everyone knows
Bleep
what that is.
that's what that
Well, you
is.
see, with that,
Okay.
We got to do an episode on that. To be honest, it'd be a 5-part, multi-hour. Anyway, I'm gonna
Get to what
be
you're
Just
saying.
more.
traveling to Eastern Europe for work. No, ladies and gentlemen, not Ukraine, but 500 miles.
Russia.
You get to pick the country. So yeah,
undercover.
I will not be in attendance next time we do this, which is why I'm pretty sure the topic for next week is sports and go sports team.
And why the Steelers suck.
That's
They
the
suck
entire
this year.
conversation. It's the Steelers
Jesus.
suck.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be screaming at you in
How
fluent
taste? How
Slovenian.
did that L taste?
So
This has
stay
been the
with us
MOBcast.
here.
Bye, everybody.
Stay tuned. Keep checking us out. We appreciate any and all acknowledgments of the mob here. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been the MOBcast.
Bye.
Deuces.
Peace.
E.
What's that sound? What's that sound? It's the Mobcast.
What?
Dab on me, you dab. I want that shotgun, bitch.